Hi, my name is Andy Malay, and this is Glimmer DSL for SWT tutorial number 22. So last time we went through Hello Drag and Drop. Today we're going to go through something similar. It's Hello Canvas Drag and Drop. And basically this is the same sort of functionality applied to Canvas graphics. So let's get started by launching this sample. So what you see here is a bunch of circles. You can think of them as balls, and we want to grab them and dump them in this square. And every time we grab one and drop it over there, the count updates. So 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. You get the picture. So how does this work? Let's close the app and look at the code. So basically, we have a Hello Canvas drag and drop class. It's a custom window. That's what a custom shell is. And then we have the body of it, and at the root of it, there's a shell, meaning a window. And we got a label here that's saying drag orange balls and drop in the square. And then there's a canvas widget. Now within the canvas widget, 10 times we're declaring an oval at a random location. And then the key thing here is to set this property, drag source, to true. That means it's a draggable oval. And then here you can include within it an oval boundary. So this one has a foreground of black. This one is whereas the main oval has a background of orange. Um, so I mean, this is what you see over here is those ovals. Um, and yeah, they're draggable. And if I don't drop them at a drop target location, it just goes back to where it was originally. So next we have a rectangle, and that is the drop region. It's got a background of white by default. It's got also a border rectangle that is black and is dashed. That's why we have a dashed border over here. Um, and then basically it's got a text nested within the rectangle. So this is not a text property, it's actually a text shape. And that's what renders this text over here. And we start with a value of 0. And then basically we're handling on mouse move, which on mouse move it'll change the background to red, and that's what makes the foreground, sorry, to red, and that's what makes the boundary become red upon moving. But then if I drop it, it's back to black. And then on drop, this is where the real work happens. Basically, we have a drop event. Um, and the first thing we're doing is taking this number shape that we had originally, which was 0, disposing it, and rebuilding it with the count plus 1. So the ball count is a variable which was calculated from the string value of number shape. So originally it's 0. And then when you drop a new ball, it becomes 0 plus 1. And so we're basically reopening the content of the drop square, which is the rectangle, and dumping into it a new text shape, and reassigning it to this variable because we want it to be the new text shape, the correct one. The old one has been disposed. And then finally, we dispose of the dragged shape. So sometimes we might not want to dispose of it, but in this case we do. So I drag this here, and as soon as it's dropped, it's disposed, it's gone. And then the text shape as well as the old one that had the value 0 is disposed, and then now we have a new one that has a value of 1. This could have been implemented in a different way where you would update the string of the old shape instead of disposing it and rebuilding it. So, I mean, it could be implemented a whole number of ways, but I mean, this demonstrates Canvas drag and drop, which is really shape drag and drop. So in Canvas, you usually declare shapes like rectangle or oval, and then this is demonstrating how you can drag and drop them. Um, so this sample has been updated recently to have more sophisticated functionality. So let's demo that. So I'm going to show you how to actually have the dragged shape contain data and then use that data on drop. So I'm going to reset this to the latest version. Um, so I had it updated uh, in the code, and so when I started this tutorial, I showed you the simpler version, but now you should see the more sophisticated version. And this one, the oval is stored in a variable, and then we set data on it. So any widget in SWT allows you to set data on it. In Glimmer DSL for SWT, shapes can have data as well. So you call the set data, you give it a key, and then a value. It's that simple. And then later you can consume this data on drop. So let me, start this updated sample just to show you what the difference is. Basically, every ball now has a specific value. And then if I drag the ball with value 8 and drop it here, we get 8. If I drag the value 5 and drop it here, it gets added to 8, so it's 13. Let's grab 1, that makes it 14. 0 will not do anything. 4 should get added and it'll make it 18. So on and so forth. So how does this work? Basically, we have ovals now that so we have a value that's a random from 0 to 9, and then we store it on the oval. We even declare a text shape within the oval now that has the X and Y as default, meaning it's centered within it. That's why the number is centered. And then the string value is whatever that value variable ended up getting from the randomizer. And then here on drop, what's happening is basically what we do. The only difference is that when we do ball count plus, we don't add 1. We add instead, we do drop event, drag shape, get data of the value key, and that'll give us the value. And could be 8, could be 5, could be 1, etc. So that's what ends up updating the drop square to have the proper added value. That's pretty much it for Canvas drag and drop. In order to learn more about Glimmer DSL for SWT, check out the GitHub project.